Hey everybody, it is John Bauer with Erio Mobile Marketing, and we want to do another Friday video for you all on some best practices and the best way to utilize Erio and or your mobile marketing campaign that you might be thinking about or running currently. So last week we talked about useful tips on the front end of mobile marketing campaigns. This time we want to talk about best practices, a few tips and tricks for how to maintain and keep everything fresh and up to date in the middle of your campaign. So on the front end of this, one of the first things we want to say is that you want to keep your content fresh and up to date. So if you've got a mobile marketing campaign where you're offering some sort of coupon, or you're showing some pricing information, or you're driving them to some sort of special that you want to make sure that it's accurate and up to date. Specifically on pricing, for our clients in the multifamily industry, if they have the prices that were really true and correct 3 months ago, you're going to have to be held accountable to that number as your future residents basically come in and show you those numbers. So you want to make sure that your prices are up to date. The second thing, even specials. It's July. You sure hope that your follow-up messages or your specials don't have to do with something about Christmas or New Year's. You want to make sure your specials and your content is fresh. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is that it's got to be all about them. What I mean is when you're trying to get them to text in for information, when you're actually sending out updates or coupons, it's got to be all about them. You want to make sure that you're giving them a reason to do it. So for a chance to win or for a mobile coupon to our property, you want to make it all about them. A few weeks back we talked about Natalie Tyner with CLV and one of their properties. They were pushing out messages to their residents, and they were asking for renewals, but at the same time it was coupled with a value add to that end user. So whether it was a lower rate, whether it was food, whether it was an event about something going on the site, they made it about the end user. So that's the second thing today. When you're having a mobile marketing campaign, it is all about your end user. So the third thing I want to bring up is your character limit. So you've got 160 characters, and you don't want to send out messages that are 5 and 10 and 6 basically text messages long. Now there's times where that's pertinent, like an emergency situation, or relevant when that's an emergency situation, but you've got 160 characters, so you want to make sure you maximize that space. So when you're saying come by the office to win a chance at free tickets, let's say, that 2 there, you can cut your space down by actually using the number 2. So you can do that along the way to kind of maximize your space. Final thing there is that you don't want to text like a 13-year-old girl. What I mean by that is the emoticons oftentimes don't work, and it shows up goofy when you actually send out the message. Also, the exclamation marks, that's going to cut down on your spacing, and if you're doing the LOLs and texting with exclamation marks throughout the whole thing, it's going to make you look goofy or like a 13-year-old girl. So those are the 3 or 4 things you want to make sure that you're tracking with in your current mobile marketing campaigns. Keep your information update. Make sure your messages are all about the end user. Maximize your spacing, and also don't text like a 13-year-old girl. Alright guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you next Friday.